Hi, Josh Galprin, the Associate Director of the Yale Center for Environmental Law and Policy. And I was also in Professor Nolan's class a few years ago and graduated with your daughter here from FES. But my question has nothing to do with that. I actually want to follow up on the anarchy concern. I'm a little concerned, not so much about anarchy itself, but the perception of anarchy. So my question is, we've got this whirlwind of economic, social, and state and local regulatory activity. And I think that does create this perception of anarchy. And 100 years ago, when this happened with coal in Pennsylvania, it really marked a watershed moment in regulatory law and in land use law, because the Supreme Court got involved and saw this same sort of these same forces coming together, and I think was nervous about this potential of regulatory anarchy. And it marked a major change. So I'm wondering if you see that same potential now. If we had Penn coal 100 years ago, and if we're looking at Penn gas now.
That's a very interesting comment. The Penn coal case, the Supreme Court said that taking that support estate away by regulation under Pennsylvania law was a regulatory taking and had to be compensated. And I think you're dead on. I think that's exactly one of the issues. We've got all that resource underground. It's owned by the people in New York who own the surface. They're leasing their land to drilling companies, and they have to be allowed to do that. You can't just take that away. It has to, if you're going to limit it, has to be a reasonable set of regulations. And what the court pointed out in Penn coal was that what they did was not reasonable. So I think that it's interesting. I just wanted to make an anecdotal comment. We have a town, Stanford, in New York, that just banned talking about fracking. These town officials said, we've got things to do. We run our towns and we have town board meetings, and all you people want to talk about is fracking. Enough. Unless something is on the agenda, you can't talk about fracking. I mean, talk about anarchy. This is a recent poll showed that 40% of the people in New York think fracking's great and 40% think it's terrible. And the other 20% are undecided. I mean, this is really a very, very difficult issue, and I think your point of reason is another good one to remember. There are judicial consequences to unreasonable action.